Okay, okay. The relationship of counsel to administrative services?
Yes, and again, very briefly, I was asked, not just by you, Mayor, but other council members, if they could meet with department heads, and my response is absolutely, you can meet with whomever you like, but then just to make sure that the charter says that any, for the purpose of inquiry, you can meet with anyone you like, but if you're going to give someone a direction, it has to come through the manager at the council table, if you will. So, Mr. Henderson asked the same question, and it was easy for Beth Tashnik, the office coordinator, to essentially line up appointments for him. And I know you had mentioned Nino Licari. Feel free, but again, I wanted to answer generally to let all the council members know the proper protocol so that you'd all be educated essentially in that relationship.
Yeah, I've received some positive data from RealComp, and I wanted to clarify it with Nino, if that's okay, if I worked with him to clarify whether or not we are seeing the slightly improving residential sales figures that I saw on RealComp. That's what I was going to outreach to him today and didn't have a chance to do. But thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
And what do we have next here?
Changes to the web page.
Yeah, I was looking on the web page, and the summer tax notice, the summer of 2011 tax notice is still on the front page, the home page of the website, and we're getting really, really close to the winter tax bills being due. Forgive me for saying that. I don't look forward to that, but I think right now we could have the summer tax bill notice off of the front home page of the website. I think that we should keep it moving forward. And for example, I wrote a letter to the citizens that I sent to you, and I thought maybe that could be the home page letter, and the previous mayor's State of the City address of 2011, maybe on an interior page somewhere. That was another one of the recommendations that I thought I might like to see. And what were some of the other ones? I am not certain. I'm sorry. Yeah, no attachments. No, it's 6 is about twice. 5. Yeah. Okay.
I included the actual email, Mayor, and again, it's on the tax issues. I'll get with Nino. There may be a requirement to keep tax notices on the web page for a certain time frame because of delinquencies. I'm not sure I can find out about that. That's not a big deal. The replacing of the State of the City, that's up to you and Counsel. I mean, if you want it replaced with your letter, that's up to you. Next year, you'll be doing the State of the City.
Yeah.
And normally, just telling you, normally the State of the City stays on for a year until it's replaced by another State of the City. But again, if the governing body wants to expunge the previous State of the City, that's up to you folks.
Well, again, I didn't know the protocol, and I thought it would be nice to have the current council on the home page of the website, and
Well, they're not.
in order, pardon me?
I was advised that they are on the website.
I mean, on the home page. On the home page. I would like I'm the new mayor, so would like my letter on the home page. Is all I'm saying is when you go to the Troy City website, you see Mayor Daniels' letter to the public, if you will. And it was just a thought, and I was kind of reaching out to you to find out what the parameters were for the website, because it seems like it could be kept up a little bit more up to date, actually. But that's another one of those issues that...
Can I just make a quick comment? I think we know that the website is something that reaches out to a lot of citizens, and it's a great place for them to come and get information. And I don't want to put the kibosh on this conversation, because I'm sure, as city manager can attest to, and probably Cindy Stewart as well, I'm consistently someone that wants to see if we can add something or update something. So I would like to have that conversation, but I think if we can, if you don't mind, just moving it to a different meeting, whether it's the next one or within the coming few meetings, just because I think it would be better to have a discussion about broadly maybe what we would like to see on there and give some consensus, I guess, in terms of how they'll manage it, the city staff will manage it, because we want to keep in mind that we all have different things that we would really like to access quickly or different ways that we would probably envision being it set up. And I think for that reason, that's why the city staff manages the site. We can give some direction on maybe things that we'd like to see kept up more timely or different features that we'd like to see, but I'd like to save it for a time when we've got a little more time to expand on it, because I think if we start down this road of, I think that the things that you want to see on there are probably very valuable, but we all have different things too, and we would probably be better suited to have a conversation about generally going forward, what are things as a council we really expect to see on there and we really expect to see updated.
Attorney Bloom?
Mayor, I just want to point out the time. We have 4 minutes, and we do have a rule that says that any item on the agenda that is not considered before 12 a.m. is automatically carried over to the next agenda absent action by City Council. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of what the timing is.
What else do we have on the agenda? I think it's...
Your Honor, if I may, just to follow up on this conversation, because it is important, and that is that Counsel does have a communication consultant contract, and I would be happy to, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, I'd be happy to have him come down to a future meeting and talk about website design and what you want to put on there. And I'm sure I know he's a better writer than I am, and that might be a way to actually take a look at the entire website, if I can do that.
I would like that, and I'm glad that we started the discussion. Is there anything else on the agenda, or can we call this meeting?
There are no more action items.
Did you want to say something, Councilman Teets?
Is there something under, I'm sorry, is there something under department reports that we need to make a decision about or not?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't want to, I'm not opening up any, it was with a question mark at the end and nothing more than that. So I'm fine with that. Thank you for that answer. Appreciate it.
If I may respond, Your Honor, and members of Council, the short answer is yes. I had supplied a cover memo to a very complex actuarial valuation, and even had 2 actuaries sitting patiently for 4 hours to answer any questions, not to make a presentation, but to answer any questions you may have. In the past, I mean, it's a report, and Counsel has just made it part of the receiving and placing on file of the report. You know, you also had the quarterly financial statement from Mr. Darling that is normally received and placed on as a just received and placed on
Indulge
file.
these gentlemen to come back at the next meeting? Do you think they would you be willing to do that if we set a time certain that you were going to speak?
Right. And again, it's up to you if you want them to speak, or otherwise they could just answer your questions. It's up to you totally.
Madam Mayor. And also, they would be available, and this issue will be available for us to ask questions and seek out information at a later date, correct?
Yes, this essentially is a report that we're required to file, and we filed it.
Okay.
If you want to ask the actuary questions and ask them, I'd rather have the actuaries answer the questions than anyone on staff and myself, because they know so much more about the issue.
Right.
And so it's your pleasure. If you want Ken and Randy to come back, I'll buy them a soft drink afterwards, and they'll be happy to come back. But if you don't want to talk to them, that's fine
If
too.
we have questions, we'll let you know. I thank you for your agreement.
Okay.
Any other comments or issues or items?
Did we have to act on anything that we discussed in the back room here, or is that moved to another week?
We need another session. We need another public comment section to be able to look at the whole scope of the issue, I think.
Okay.
The direction that I received, Your Honor, if I may, is that it was going to be a call to the public, and perhaps through the press, we can have a press release asking the public, and primarily the business sector, to come in and talk about the transit center next Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. Meeting is adjourned. Let's go home.